Right everyone, it is Finn here, and in today's video I'll be predicting the round of 16 for Euro 2020 because looking at the round of 16, there are some insane matchups that are going to be so tricky and hard to predict, but I will be trying my best because looking at the round of 16 for Euro 2020, now that the fixtures have finally been released, we've got Belgium versus Portugal, which genuinely I could watch a game like that as a final itself. It has that much quality. We've also got Italy versus Austria, France versus Switzerland, Croatia versus Spain, Sweden versus Ukraine, which I don't care if neither of these two teams win the tournament. The color combination, it's quite pleasing to the eyes to watch them go against each other. England versus Germany, once again, a really tough competition that a lot of eyes are going to be on this tournament. Netherlands versus Czech Republic, and Wales versus Denmark. Guys, the round of 16 for the Euros this year is absolutely insane. I might say this, I think that there's more competition and it's more competitive at the Euros than it might be at the World Cup. Am I going to get 100% of my predictions correct in this video? Probably not, to be honest with you, but I will be trying my best. And before I get into my predictions, I want to ask you guys to put down in the comment section down below, what has been your favorite moment of the tournament so far? Let me know in the comment section down below. But getting into my predictions for Euro 2020 round of 16, we start off with Belgium versus Portugal, which... what a game. I'm going to piss off a lot of people here. I know I've got a huge Portuguese audience. I know so many people that are Portuguese, and I myself am supporting Belgium for this tournament. So whatever I say, people are going to say I'm biased towards either direction. But to be honest, I could really sway both ways with this decision. I think looking at Portugal, they've got a lot of quality in their team. They've got a lot of players that were really informed throughout the season. But for me, I wasn't impressed with them throughout the group stages, where if you look at Belgium, although they didn't necessarily hit second gear, I have to say, I was more impressed with Belgium, to be honest with you. And for that reason, it's a tricky one because Ronaldo is so in form at the moment, Belgium, so it's a tricky one. But for the meantime, I am going to put Belgium there. I am sorry, Portuguese fans, if you are upset with that. Remember, it is my opinion, so don't get angry with me in the comment section down below. Get angry at the matchup, get angry at the fixture. But looking at the next game, now who's going to face Belgium? Either Italy and Austria. I am going to go for Italy. As I said, in my opinion, I think Italy could be favourites to win the competition this year. They looked strong in every aspect. From attack, midfield and defence, they're on a 30-game unbeaten run at the moment. They're looking really unstoppable, where Austria, yes, I like Austria, but they weren't that impressive in the group stage, in my opinion. They definitely let a few moments slip. Defensively and attacking-wise, they had their moments, but not versus Italy. Now, looking up, we've got France versus Switzerland next, which... Switzerland, obviously coming third place in their group, they didn't automatically make it to the stage, nor did they get eliminated. I guess to that extent you could say Switzerland were neutral.
No, God!
I was very impressed with Switzerland in their game versus Turkey. I think it was on the attacking front. Defensively, they looked good. I think they've had very good moments this tournament so far. But versus France, I'd like to think that France stand a better chance. I think, once again, another favourite to win the tournament this time around. Although, once again, not that impressed with France this tournament. I don't think that they were excellent versus Portugal. Obviously, drew versus Hungary, only beat Germany from an own goal. France, as I said, versus Switzerland, you'd like to think that they're going to make it through, though. Next up, we've got Croatia versus Spain. Now, Croatia, once again, not near the levels they were in the 2018 World Cup, and I can definitely say the same about Spain. They almost got knocked out of their group stage, literally almost came fourth place. I wasn't impressed with them by any means, but hey, turns out Alvaro Morata, if you don't pass to him on the field, you've still got a chance of winning. Spain, I mean, I can definitely see the pain part. The S must be silent. Now, who's going to go through between Spain and Croatia? I like Croatia. I think they have some excellent attacking chances, but I just think Spain is going to dominate possession. I hope this doesn't let me down, but I am going to go for Spain as much as I want Croatia to make it. Next up, we've got Sweden versus Ukraine. I am going to go for Sweden. I like Ukraine on the attacking front, and I think Bushchan is an incredible goalkeeper. This Ukrainian team is actually heavily underrated, but saying that, Sweden have definitely had their moments throughout the tournament. They just beat Poland. I like Sweden a lot, and I like their chances of making it through. Oh, now for the big one, England versus Germany. Now what do I do? It's tricky. Once again, England have had the most boring group. Yes, they topped their group, but when you say it's coming home, I didn't think you meant an old age home. England have been so slow this tournament. I haven't been impressed. Lots of their players haven't really picked up where they should have. Lots of people are talking about Harry Kane being very quiet this tournament. Saying that, I don't know if I've actually seen him receive the ball. So, I mean, you can't score if you don't have the ball. But do I like England's chances versus Germany? Once again, Germany also been heavily underwhelming in their games. Only versus Portugal did they look super strong. But I'm not going to lie. Although they play a boring game of football, I'm going to go for England. What the fuck? I think England could beat Germany if they put the likes of someone like Jack Grealish and Saka on. As we saw in their last game versus the Czech Republic, if they play a really good attacking, very skilled team, they've got a good chance of winning. And defensively, 3 clean sheets so far this tournament. Don't let me down, England. Next up, we've got Netherlands versus Czech Republic. Now, this is once again a tricky one. Czech Republic have had some brilliant games this tournament and brilliant moments, where Netherlands, once again, although top of their group, I would say that just like Belgium, they've struggled to really get into second gear. I like this Netherlands national team. We've seen a few quiet moments from their players. I think Netherlands are going to beat the Czech Republic, but I think Czech Republic will definitely give them a run for their money. Now for Wales versus Denmark. Neither of them favorites to win the competition, but I'd say both have won my heart, to be honest. Sorry, when Gareth Bale does this, apparently he's trademarked this. Please don't sue me, Gareth Bale. Whatever you're going to use that money for, maybe buy new golf clubs. But Wales versus Denmark, it's a tricky one. I really am happy that Denmark have made it to this stage, considering what happened in week 1 with Christian Eriksen. I also really do like Wales on the attacking front. They can be brilliant. I thought defensively versus Turkey, they were solid. Now, who do I think is going to make it through between Denmark and Wales? It's tricky because I like these teams equally and I think they really bring the same quality. But I'm just going to say for just the overall game, do I think Denmark's going to make it? Unfortunately, I might go for Wales, to be honest with you. As I said, no, do I? It's a tricky one. I'm going to go for Denmark. I'm sorry, Wales. I like you guys, but I don't think it's happening. Now, guys, you know what? I'm going to predict the quarterfinal as well. We might as well just do this entire prediction. Next up, we've got Belgium versus Italy, which, as I said, I've given my statement for both teams. I think Belgium look very good, but I just think Italy, I think they've just been slightly better. On the attacking front, they've been very, very good. I've seen a few defensive slip-ups from Belgium. They're not the fastest. Even their younger, more faster centre-backs, like Denier, has made a few mistakes. I think Belgium's a class team, but I do think Italy will make it through. Next up, we've got France versus Spain. Once again, 2 top teams that maybe haven't shown their full potential yet. But I just think Spain, yes, they just beat Slovakia 5-0, but as I said, I haven't seen that throughout the entire tournament, so that consistency isn't there. And on the attacking front, I don't know if they'll make it past France. I'm going to say I think France beats Spain, to be honest. Next up, we've got Sweden versus England. Can I be honest? I think England have a better chance of beating Germany than they do Sweden, to be honest. I think Sweden could give England a serious run for their money. I think Alexander Isak looks really, really good, but I still think England are going to get a really sloppy win here. I think it's going to go to a penalty shootout and England are going to win. I genuinely think it'll go down to that. Next up, Netherlands versus Denmark. Once again, very tricky one to an extent, but I do think Netherlands are probably going to get like a 1-0 win in a game like this. I like Denmark, but I think the way Netherlands can somehow really hold possession, the likes of Ronaldo and Frankie de Jong, has worked really, really well in the midfield to kind of keep possession. I think Dumfries has been in form in the right back position. Netherlands is actually looking like a really solid team, even when they played the likes of Stekelenburg as their goalkeeper. He's really exceeded my expectations, and I think Netherlands will make it through. Now for the semi-finals of the competition. Italy versus France and England versus Netherlands. I can't say that I saw this coming, to be honest with you. I think things really have changed now that Portugal aren't in the stage of the competition according to my predictions. But Italy versus France, as I said, I really do like Italy and I do like France. I do think France's attack around the Italy defense is going to be really, really tricky for Italy to kind of counter-attack. As I said, it could really go either way, which I'm sorry if you are colorblind, you're not going to be able to differentiate between these 2 flags right here. But Italy have been so defensive, but do I think they're going to beat France? To be honest, I think France are going to stand a chance. I think once you get to the semi-finals and that kind of stage of the competition, I think that's when the big boys really show up. I think this is where Kylian Mbappe is going to reach his peak of the competition. I think Kante and Pogba have been unstoppable in the midfield together. And I think this is where, as I said, I think Italy have been better so far this tournament. But this is where I think France will just take over in terms of being in form. That takes us to England versus Netherlands. Now, do I think England are going to get to the final over Netherlands? I would really like to think so. I do like England. To be honest, lots of people are going to say they're surprised they would get to this stage if they beat. But you know what? Looking at this path, it's actually not a difficult one. It just matters, can England beat Netherlands? This is what I'm slightly worried about. Which France versus either England or Netherlands in the final, that would be some game to watch. But just from what I've seen as a whole from the attacking front from England, I haven't been that impressed this competition. So do I think Netherlands would beat England? To be honest, I don't know. Is it written in the stars? I think Netherlands are going to beat England. I'm so sorry, England fans. Please do not hate me for that. But guys, that means the final of the Euros this year, according to my updated predictions, is going to be France versus Netherlands, which if you guys haven't seen before the Euros started, I uploaded my full competition predictions. Guys, that video's on like 45,000 views. I don't think it's going to be a long time until I reach that again, but thank you so much for your support on that. Lots of my predictions were really accurate, which I'm quite happy with. So guys, if you have enjoyed this video before I predict the final, please do leave a like down below. It does help my channel out a lot, especially if you have gotten to the stage. Can we please get this video to 20 likes? But France versus Netherlands, this is going to be a tricky one. It's basically like the French flag having a nap on its side, which I'm sorry, I realize I've spoken a lot about flags in this video, but France versus Netherlands, who do I think stands the best chance? The thing is, I like Netherlands. They've got so many fantastic players. It really does bum me out that Virgil van Dijk and Donny van de Beek aren't in the team this time around. I think Netherlands and France have had very similar tournaments, and the fact that, yes, although top their groups, they haven't really reached that like top height where they really could. And I think both are similar in terms of the fact that maybe their defenses aren't the strongest points of their team. Their midfield can dominate games. Their attack can look deadly, but hasn't been to their full potential so far this tournament. And I'm not going to lie, I think France are just going to take it. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win to France. I think it's going to be a sloppy penalty in the 78th minute, won by Kylian Mbappe. Karim Benzema is just going to have his name written in the stars. I can see a situation like that playing out. But guys, those are my predictions from the round of 16 to the final of Euro 2020. My updated predictions, if you may. Once again, if you guys have enjoyed this video and you are not subscribed, I do regular football content on a regular basis, from Euros to club football, anything football related I do. So if you are not subscribed to this channel and you want to see more like that in the future, more content like that, please do subscribe down below. You won't regret it. Along with hitting that like button, can we please get this video to 20 likes? But guys, will these predictions happen? I want you guys to tell me in the comment section down below what your favorite game of the tournament has been and who you think will win the Euros. Guys, this is Finn, FYNN. Have a good one. Cheers.